Starting out as a teacher, it's a scary environment. Oftentimes you feel like you're alone and that no one is there to really understand what you're going through and really to give you advice and get you feedback. You're all the time looking for some way to connect to somebody else, to be part of a larger connection. And in the past, that was a hard thing to do. You had teachers around you that could help, but outside of there wasn't much beyond conferences and maybe district-wide meetings. But all of that has changed. We now find ourselves in a world where private learning networks are a lot easier to come by. Through the internet and through free websites, connecting is easier than it's ever been. In this video, I'm going to describe a little bit about my own personal learning network, some discoveries that I've made about myself, and where I plan to go in the future. It starts with my own school. I started with having Facebook. I connected to my other teachers via Facebook. Not many of us are blogging, or at least weren't when we started. So we're looking for other ways to also connect. We did a lot of texting, which isn't normally considered part of your learning network, but we did share videos that we found on YouTube, and then we started using Google Docs as probably the first thing we started doing. With Google Docs, what we did was that we actually started creating resources together, maybe some sort of lesson plans, or since my school is set up in villages, we use the villages to kind of connect and share ideas about curriculum and to share ideas about student presentations. It wasn't really until this year that I started really pushing the staff and the administration hard to use Google Docs. And it was also the first time that I introduced most of the staff to Dropbox. We started using Dropbox to store files that got emailed out every semester, examples of our presentation rubrics, different things that we use in our own villages. Now we can share with other teachers, and then we also shared it with other schools that came through and visited and gave them links to some of our Dropbox accounts so that they could get access to this also. Something that I introduced from this class to connect our leaders was the Asana website. We started using this for projects and to assign people different roles so that everybody knew what was going on. We also started using the site Digo, and this is probably for my own personal learning network. This is where things have really started to kick in high gear this year. I created a group just for media arts teachers so I can build other teachers that are teaching like-minded subjects and that can just share the resources. Another thing I did is I really started using the Google Reader. I found blogs that I liked and I enjoyed and started using Google Reader to just add to what I was teaching and what I thought about education. I've also used my personal learning network and things that I've learned to enhance my own classroom. I've used Adobe Connect to connect to my students when I'm not there. This picture is actually from one of the days I was at home sick with my child, and my kids know that kind of I am like them. I'm always on, always available, and willing to help anytime I can. So what's the plan to expand my personal learning network? I've introduced the staff of my school to Twitter. Some of them were familiar with Twitter but didn't know how to use Twitter. This is something I'm just getting on board with this year. I think I will be doing a lot more tweeting. I'll be doing a lot more searching for information. But really I need to connect with others.
So that is coming up with a list of people that I follow, that I interact with, and then might start out being just the people in my cohort. I also want to blog more this year. I want to get down some of my thoughts on education, and that is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but that's what I need to do next. I am building the Media Arts Digo group. I now, with the new edition of Google Communities, plan to try to start a media arts community, and I'll use that to foster more conversation and ideas. I use Digo to just gather resources, but media arts to foster ideas. One thing I'm really excited about this year is the iTunes U course that I'm developing. I hope to have this ready to launch by KISTI conference, where I'll be speaking about creating your own media arts program, and that's what this iTunes U course will be. Hopefully I'll have a lot of people that take a look at it, give me feedback and evaluation, and give me ideas to even mold my own style of teaching and learning. Another idea that I'm really excited about this year is using some of the material I've created for my classes on the actual iTunes U store. And in this, I want to be able to add to the discussion, the conversation, where it's somewhat lacking. Kentucky's iTunes U is not overly impressive, and so I want to be one that is providing lots of material for it, while at the same time using that as a launching pad to create more connections, to expand my personal learning network, and to learn more from others. I've met with Marty Park from KDE to talk about what kind of materials might be good for the iTunes U, things that I could provide, and then maybe what the state needs as a whole to uh, boost up this area that I feel like I'm leading. This next year is going to be an exciting time for me. It's going to be busy, but I imagine I'll be a much different communicator, connected leader, and teacher by this point a year from now. Thanks for learning a little bit about my professional growth plan that I have and expanding my professional network, and I look forward to this adventure.